when I would hit spot lock, the girls would be within 20, 30 feet of fish, and they'd just do a simple pitch and catch every one of them. And they'd caught every fish up to this point. Well, this one I'd seen late, because sometimes you don't see them till they're like maybe a tree's blocking them, and then all of a sudden you're almost right on top, and it's like, oh, there's a big one. It just happened to be 3 big ones, and I hit spot lock, and the girls were like, oh, like they saw it go by them. And then when I looked down, I'm like, they're right below me. So yeah, I just free spooled my jigging Rap just straight down, and it stopped, right by them. And I did one jig, and all 3 came up at one time. And on my second jig, I had a fish on. I'm like, I got one, and it was like, it just happened that fast. This is one of them things. And obviously a fish of that size ripped up and down quite a bit, and made a couple, 2-3 runs. And first time it came to the surface, we knew it was big because it kind of did like a dolphin or shark thing with the fin out of the water, and it kind of went across the water and it went back down. I'm like, holy crap. And Cairo had the net, and she's like, oh my God, it's so big. I don't know if I can net it. And I'm like, why aren't you netting it? And then it ran on us. I'm like, if we get this thing up enough to get up again, you better net this fish next time. And she's like, I don't know if I can, because it was that big. Well, lucky we got it up. She netted it. And then when it hit the floor, I turn around and look back, and I'm like, oh, that one's got to be like 12 pounds because how big it looked. I'm like, weigh it and get it in the live well or whatever. So because we're keeping that one. And then in the meantime, them other 2 look like the same size. So I took the Cadence's rod, and I started chasing after them, and I was casting them because they were swimming free in the water. They weren't in the tree anymore. And I was trying to catch up to them, and they were getting close, and I was ready to cast again. And all of a sudden they turn around and they're like, oh my God, Dad, this fish weighs 14 pounds, 10 ounces on our scale. And I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, what? I'm like, reset the scale. You're crazy. So they reset the scale, and they're like, no, Dad, it's 14 pounds, 10 ounces. And I'm like, I hit spot lock. I stopped chasing them 2 fish, and I had to turn around and look, and just like, oh my gosh, that is a huge fish, And at that point, it was kind of like jumping up and down, and everyone was screaming and yelling and cheering and hugging. And I'm like, well, everyone in northern Lake Hawaii heard us catch that fish because it was chaos for about 5 minutes in the boat. And then I'm like, you know what? We got 5 more fish we got to catch. We got to get going here. We just wasted 15 minutes celebrating a 14-pounder. We got to get moving. So lucky enough, about an hour later, we end up, then at that point, Cadence had to stab me with a knife going, bet you wish I'd have kept that 8